Hello guys, welcome back, and today we're going to discuss the BTC price action. As you remember, on the weekly time frame, nothing has been changed. In the last 2 weeks we're seeing a nice bullish candles one after another, and the levels that you remember, 36,500 and ideally $37,000. So in the last week we closed above $37,000. Not much change on the weekly time frame. Moving on to a daily time frame. Before we move on to further analysis, if you guys are learning and enjoying from the contents, do not forget to like the video, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe and activate the bell so you do not miss the accurate market updates. If we're going to discuss the daily time frame, as you can see, 10 days non-stop we printed bullish candles. So as a result, we're seeing a nice pullback that expected from the resistance number 2, which was around $42,000. So on the daily time frame, high time frame, the expected pullback may come all the way up to 36,500. As you can see, that was a previous support lines around these $36,000. But in order to go to all the way up to $36,000, we have to look into a lower time frames. 4-hour time frame. In the last video, which I mentioned that we're going to see a rejection from this resistance number 2. However, early on the lower time frame, the entry signal was around $30,000 and $31,000. Since then, we moved towards the upside. However, after waiting nearly 48 hours, right around 33,500, 34,000 levels, the 4-hour started giving us a bullish signal and confirmed the full bullish signal. However, we got levels at around 40,500, 41,000, and these levels, resistance 2 and 1, support number 1 and 2, we've been following in the last 2 months. So as a result, we came all the way up to the resistance number 2. We may call this as a deviation, and we're seeing a pullback in the market. So in the last video, clearly mentioned that highly likely we will see a rejection from here, and the price action will go all the way up to the resistance number 1. So if someone took from the $31,000 all the way up to $41,000, that would have been provided 32% spot profit. However, if you're a swing trader, and if you took this trade from the 34,000, 33,500, once you got a confirmation on the 4-hour time frame, it would have been up by 20% spot profit. And at the same time, as soon as we got rejection from the last time, highly likely, which I said, the price action will come to the resistance number 1. Still, I'm expecting these levels on the mid time frame, and we're going to cover the lower time frames in a minute. From the last video, if one took it this short, one could have been already up by 10 to 12% spot profit. However, the current condition of 4-hour time frame, as I mentioned in the previous video, if we're going to see a rejection, which is highly likely on the lower time frame, if in the next 24 to 48 hours, if we're going to come and stay below upper line of this resistance number 1, 4-hour time frame will enter into a consolidation zone. So at the moment, 4-hour still bullish. As I said, if in the coming hours, if we're going to enter to this level after 24 hours, highly likely we will be in the consolidation level. Before we move on to lower time frames, if you want to learn all this technical analysis, what I'm showing, and if you want to become an independent professional trader, or you're interested in the institutional trading system, you can message me via Telegram at Magnate8, and 101 intense masterclass is available, and it only takes you 5 to 10 hours to master this all. And during the course, I'll teach you day trading, i.e. scalping, swing, and as well as the long-term as an investor trading systems. Moving on to 2-hour time frame. In the last video, I clearly mentioned that highly likely we will come and reject from this upper line of this resistance number 2. If we didn't count this as a deviation. Also, if you're a pattern trader, we see a double top scenario at the same time. However, by rejecting actually this level, and that was an indication of lower time frames started moving towards the downside. And also mention that, as you can see, we've got week to week, dollar to dollar rejections, also week to week rejection from the upper line of this resistance number 1. As I said, in the next 24 hours or 48 hours, if we're going to lose this level, lower line of this resistance number 2, 2-hour will start moving towards the consolidation. So at the moment, 2-hour is in consolidation mode. As long as we're going to be below these previous highs, as you can see, 40,700 and 800 on the 2-hour time frame, if we're going to break it, claim it as a support, then we are good to go towards all the way up to $45,000 will be unlocked. However, at this moment we're in consolidating nicely. If next 24 to 48 hours, if we're going to lose the level of $38,000, 2 hour will start moving towards the bear's control. However, it's slightly early, but this is what we're seeing from the current price action. Moving on to 1 hour time frame. The confirmation on the 1 hour time frame came as soon as we lost the $41,000, and we came all the way to the resistance, lower line of this resistance. As you can see, we started printing a lower highs at the same time a lower lows. So 1 hour time frame heavily under the bear's control. In order to be bullish on the 1 hour time frame, same levels are going to be applied. 40,500, ideally, as I said, 40,800 level. Claim it as a support, then we are good to go. However, at the moment, it looks slightly early for us to talk about that on the lower time frames. I'm expecting a rejection at around, again, this lower line of this resistance number 2, which is 39,800 and 40,000 levels. Once we're going to get a rejection, highly likely we will see a bit of consolidation in here, and this may result in the next 48 hours that we might lose a 2 hour time frame. And as a result, the higher time frames, the levels will come into play, which I mentioned earlier on. So overall, if one missed to take a long around 30,000, 31,000, the second long has been provided around 33,500, 34,000 levels. This is not the level to take a long unless you're doing a scalping. That's another game. However, if you missed another short at around this levels or these levels, which is 40,000 and 40,500, ideally, I think quite late, because the short level is supposed to be taken at around 41,500, 40,500 levels. And in the coming days, as I said, we're going to be following lower time frames and then see how the lower time frame price action will react to 1 hour as well as especially 2 hour time frame. If we're going to lose this level, as I mentioned, after the consolidation, highly likely the next level that we're going to see under a daily time frame, the levels which I mentioned earlier on. We covered bullish and bearish scenario. Mid-high time frames are still bullish. We might see another little bit of pullback, then we're good to go towards the upside, unless there will be a drastic change. If there will be a serious change, I will update via Twitter or in the next videos. We came to an end of this episode, and if you guys enjoyed it, do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.